Have you ever spoken more English in your head than out loud in a whole day? You think in English sometimes. Maybe you read a sentence and understand it right away. Maybe you watch a video and follow every word. But when it's time to speak, your mouth stays quiet. Here's a strange fact. Many people study English for years. Still, they say almost nothing out loud, day after day. The words sit quietly in their mind. They just never come out. It's a strange kind of silence, and almost nobody talks about it. Maybe you know this feeling well. You understand a lot, but your voice stays quiet, morning after morning. Think about this morning. Did you read any English? Maybe. Did you hear any English? Probably. But did you actually speak English out loud? Even one sentence? For most people, the answer is very few. Maybe none at all. And the reason may surprise you. Maybe this sounds familiar. Maybe you can already think of English words in your head easily right now. That's the gap we're going to look at today. This gap has a name. Some people call it the speaking gap. It's the space between what you know and what you actually say out loud. Today, we look at why this happens, and we look at one small habit for your morning, before breakfast, that starts to change this. Imagine two English learners. Both study every week. Both know a similar amount of English. But one of them changes just 5 small morning habits. 3 months later, that same person speaks much more comfortably. What made the difference? Not their knowledge. The difference came from small, repeated moments, practiced quietly every morning. Nothing changed all at once. There was no big test. There was no big lesson. Just small steps, every single day, in the same order. The first habit is simple. Listen to one English song while your coffee brews. Your ears need to hear real English sound, not just words on a page. Songs move fast. Real speech moves fast too. This helps your ears catch up. The second habit takes a few seconds. Read one English sentence on a label or a notebook. This helps your eyes and your brain get used to English, one small step at a time. One sentence is enough. You don't need a whole page. The third habit is a small writing task. Write down 3 English words you want to use today. A clear, small goal means you're more likely to actually use those words. Maybe you saw a new word yesterday. Write it down. Try to use it today, in one sentence. Out of these 5 habits, one changes your speaking more than all the others. And it's the one people skip the most. Say 3 sentences about your day out loud before breakfast. This one is different, and that difference matters. The 5th habit is quick too. Repeat one new word out loud during breakfast. This helps your brain hold on to it. A word you say out loud is much harder to forget than a word you only read. Today, we go deep into just one of these 5. Speaking out loud. This isn't about becoming perfect overnight. It's about one small habit, in one small moment, that builds something bigger over time. Here's the question we're answering today. Why does saying just 3 sentences out loud every morning make such a big difference? By the end, you'll understand why this small habit works so well. and you'll have one clear thing to try tomorrow, before breakfast. Let's start with the part almost everyone struggles with. Let's talk about why this is hard. Because it is hard. And that's very normal. Picture a normal morning. You're alone in your kitchen. Speaking English out loud, to nobody, feels strange. Your voice feels louder in your own head than it really is. Here's a story you might know. Someone tells herself every night, "I'll practice speaking tomorrow." Morning comes. It's busy again. Breakfast, work, 100 small things. The evening comes back around. She tells herself the same thing again. Weeks pass this way. She reads English easily. She understands every word of her favorite shows. But her own voice, speaking out loud, almost never gets a turn. Nothing is wrong with her English. She just never gave herself a real moment to speak it. This isn't about ability. It's simply about a habit nobody built yet. Here's another small example. A man reads English business news every day. He understands every sentence. But in a real meeting, his words come out slowly. He knows the words. His mouth just isn't used to saying them fast. This is very common. Many people know more English than they can actually speak, at speed, in the moment. Or think about a student who writes perfect English essays. On paper, every sentence is correct. But ask her to speak the same idea out loud, and the words come slower, less smoothly. Writing and speaking simply use different muscles. Neither one replaces the other. Think about a friend of yours. Maybe they read English news easily. Maybe they watch English shows without help. Even people like that often go quiet the moment they need to speak, out loud, in a real conversation. Understanding and speaking are two different skills. This is good news, actually. It means your English isn't the problem. Your speaking habit is simply still growing. Here's the surprising part. Your brain isn't refusing to speak English. It's simply following the habits you've trained for years. Let's talk about what's really happening in your brain when you speak English out loud. Understanding a language and speaking a language use your brain in different ways. When you read or listen, your brain simply receives words. When you speak, your brain has to find words, put them in order, and send them to your mouth, all at once. Someone asks, "How are you?" You know the answer right away in your head, but your mouth still waits a second, looking for the words to say. That small pause is exactly what we're talking about. Or think about ordering food at a restaurant. You know the words for what you want, but saying them out loud, in the right order, at the right speed, still takes a small effort. That effort gets smaller with practice. Think of it like a muscle you rarely use. You can understand a sentence perfectly, but your mouth, your voice, your speaking muscles only get stronger when you actually use them, out loud, again and again. A muscle doesn't grow strong after just one use. The first few mornings might feel a little slow. That's completely normal. Muscles need repeated use before they feel natural. Your speaking voice works the same way. Think about walking after sitting for a long time. Your legs feel a little stiff at first. After a few steps, they loosen up. Your speaking voice works in a similar way each morning. Many language learners say that speaking out loud, even just a little every day, helps them feel calmer the next time they need to speak in real life. It's simply practice, small and steady, building a skill your brain hasn't fully trained yet. You don't need to speak perfectly. You don't need to worry about small mistakes. Your brain just needs real practice, the same way any skill does. Now picture the opposite, a brain that says 3 small sentences out loud every morning. Over time, finding words becomes faster. Speaking starts to feel more natural. It feels less like translating in your head first. Speaking out loud isn't only about grammar or words. It also builds a kind of quiet confidence. It's the feeling that your voice belongs in this language too. This confidence doesn't come from a big test or a big class. It comes from many small mornings, repeated quietly. Each morning adds just a little more. You won't notice it after one day. You might notice it after 1 month. Small changes are often invisible at first and clear later. Think about learning to swim. You can read about swimming. You can watch videos of people swimming. But your body only learns to swim once you get in the water and move your arms and legs yourself. Speaking English works the same way. You don't need to speak perfectly, and you never will need to. You only need to practice speaking, in small amounts, at one steady moment in your day. This is true even for people who speak several languages already. Every one of them, at some point, felt strange saying their first sentences out loud in a new language. That strange feeling fades with practice. Ask any person who speaks 3 or 4 languages. They will tell you the same thing. The first weeks of speaking a new language always feel a little awkward. Then, slowly, it stops feeling awkward at all. So the idea is simple. Speaking out loud builds a deeper kind of comfort with English. So now we know why speaking matters. But why do most people give up after only a few days? The answer is simple. Most people try to change too much at once. They don't choose one small, repeatable moment. They try to speak for 20 minutes every single day. That feels hard, so they skip a day, then another. Soon, the habit disappears completely. Small, tiny habits survive much longer than big, ambitious ones. Let's talk about how you actually build this habit every morning without it feeling like extra work. Here's what makes this easy. You don't need extra time in your morning. Instead, you attach this small habit to something you already do right before breakfast. Picture tomorrow morning. Your coffee is ready. Breakfast is on the table. Before your first bite, you stop for 30 seconds. You say 3 simple sentences. That's the whole habit. Every morning, at some point, you sit down to eat. That moment already exists. So, this new habit simply rides along right before that moment begins. Right before you eat, you say 3 sentences out loud, in English, about your day. Just 3. Not a long conversation. Not perfect grammar. Just 3 small sentences, in your real voice. Think of it like brushing your teeth. You don't think hard about it. You just do it, at the same moment, every day. This habit can become just as automatic over time. You don't need to plan these sentences the night before. Most mornings, Whatever is happening around you already gives you something to say. The coffee, the weather, your plans for the day, all of it works well. Notice how small this really is. It's not a class. It's not a lesson. It's 30 seconds of your own voice, right before a meal you are already going to eat. 30 seconds is shorter than boiling an egg. It's shorter than waiting for toast. That's really all this habit asks of you. This is what makes a habit easy to keep, week after week. You're not trying to become fluent overnight. You're simply practicing one small moment every morning. Small also means specific. Practice speaking English feels big. Your mind quietly avoids it. Say 3 sentences before breakfast is small enough for your mind to hold on to. The other 4 habits follow this same idea. Listening to a song rides along with making coffee. Reading 1 sentence rides, along with checking your phone. Writing 3 words rides along with your morning routine. Repeating a new word rides along with breakfast itself. None of these 5 habits ask you to find extra time. They simply borrow 30 seconds from moments that were already happening. Small habits like these work well together. You don't need to start all 5 at once. You can start with just 1 and add more later, whenever you feel ready. Most people start with speaking, since it makes the biggest difference. But there's no wrong place to begin. You're not asking your morning self to do something big. You're only asking for 30 seconds, right before a moment that already happens anyway. That's a small, fair request. Your future self, the one who speaks more comfortably, starts with this one small request tomorrow morning. That version of you is closer than it feels right now. So here's your one action for tomorrow morning. Before you eat breakfast, say 3 sentences about your day out loud in English. That's it. 3 sentences. Your own voice. No perfect grammar. No long speech. Just 3 small sentences before your first bite of breakfast. After 1 week, simple sentences may come more easily. After 1 month, speaking may feel more natural. This isn't about one perfect morning. It's about many small, ordinary mornings, added together. They can be very simple. I am making breakfast. Today I will call my friend. The weather looks nice today. Simple sentences work well. This isn't a test. It's just practice. You can also talk about small things. My coffee is hot. I slept well last night. I am a little tired today. These sentences don't need to be clever. They just need to be spoken, out loud, in your own voice. Some mornings, talk about your plans. I will go to work today. I need to buy some milk. Other mornings, describe what's around you. The kitchen smells like coffee. Whatever comes to mind is enough. You can even talk about your family. My sister called me yesterday. My son is still sleeping. Small, everyday sentences are perfect for this habit. You don't need anything fancy. You don't need to write anything down first, though you can if that helps. Just look around your kitchen, notice what's happening, and say it out loud. Let's say the action one more time, so it's easy to remember. Before you eat breakfast, say 3 sentences about your day out loud in English. Can you try this tomorrow? I think you can. It's small. It's quick. You already know enough English to do it. You've probably said harder sentences than these before, in a classroom, in an app, or in your own head. Tomorrow, you're just letting those words leave your mouth, out loud. And if a sentence comes out wrong, that's okay. Nobody is checking this. Just try again the next morning. This isn't about speaking perfectly. Even native speakers mix up words sometimes. A small mistake doesn't erase your progress. It's just part of learning to speak. What matters most is that you kept speaking anyway. Maybe some mornings, 3 sentences feel easy. Other mornings, you might only say 1 or 2. That's still worth celebrating. The goal was never to speak perfectly. The goal was to use your voice, just a little, before your day begins. Maybe you live with other people, and speaking alone feels strange at first. That's completely normal. You can speak quietly, almost like a whisper. What matters is that the words leave your mouth out loud instead of staying silent in your mind. Maybe you feel silly talking to yourself at first. Many people feel this way in the beginning. That feeling usually fades after just a few mornings. Let's walk back through what we talked about today, slowly. Speaking English out loud uses a different part of your brain than reading or listening. That part grows stronger with real practice, morning after morning. Saying 3 small sentences before breakfast gives your voice that practice. This isn't a big change. It's a small one, but small changes, repeated daily, add up to something real. Now let's remember our key words from today, one at a time. Out loud means with your real voice, not just in your head, not a whisper in your mind, but real sound. Practice means doing something small, again and again, not once, many times. When you speak out loud, your confidence can grow, little by little, slowly, morning after morning. A sentence is a full, complete thought, like I am making coffee. Simple, complete, and yours. A routine is something small you do at the same time every day. It becomes automatic. Speaking can start to feel more natural the more you practice. This is true for everyone. Before we finish, let's remember all 5 small habits from today. Listen to one English song while your coffee brews. Read one English sentence somewhere in your morning. Write down 3 English words you want to use. Say 3 sentences about your day out loud. Before breakfast, repeat 1 new word out loud. While you eat. Tomorrow morning, before you eat breakfast, say 3 sentences about your day, out loud in English. Simple sentences, your own voice. That's really all it takes. You already know enough English for this. You already have a morning where breakfast happens, every day. Tomorrow, just for 30 seconds, use your voice. That one small habit might be the beginning of a much more confident version of your English. Real change with speaking rarely happens all at once. It grows slowly, morning after morning, 3 sentences at a time. One day, the words come out a little faster, a little easier, and you'll wonder why speaking ever felt hard. Tomorrow morning, don't try to be perfect. Just say 3 simple sentences before breakfast. 30 seconds is enough. One morning becomes 1 week. 1 week becomes 1 month. And that's how confidence grows. If this helped you feel ready for tomorrow, Follow along for more small morning habits, one simple step at a time. Your voice is already there. Tomorrow is a good time to let it speak.